So Jesus says, rise, take up your bed. What happens when he picks up his bed? He gets attention. Yeah? If he had just got up and walked, no one would have known. They might not even have recognized him because they'd never seen him walking for 38 years. They would have said, oh, there's a man walking, is all they would have seen. But the reason that he was recognized is because he took the very thing that was his bondage and began to carry it. And everyone suddenly looked at him and said, hey, what are you doing carrying that bed on the Sabbath day? Of all the people that he met that day, it had to be the Pharisees. It could have been anyone else who could have said, I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad that God healed you. I'm so glad that this miracle happened. But he had to meet with the most sour, the most negative, the most bitter group of people in all of Jerusalem, who look at him and say, how dare you carry your bed on the Sabbath? It's not lawful. If it was you and me, we could have asked him, please quote me the exact same verse where the Torah says it is unlawful for a man to carry his mattress on the Sabbath. And they could not have, because there's no such verse in Torah. All God said was keep the Sabbath holy. Don't work on Sabbath. But God never said anything about carrying your mattress. But this man, as new as he was into this miracle, he says, I don't know, that man told me to pick up my bed. And I'm thinking, of all the people who should have been healed, could it have not been a guy who could have articulated a little bit better and say, why are you asking him about the mattress, you idiots? Can't you see me walking? I am walking. Can't you see my legs? Can't you see my hands? I would have had a pretty big yelling party with him. But this man holding his mattress is arguing with them about the mattress. He's like, that man told me to carry the mattress. Forget the mattress. You're healed. You couldn't walk for 38 years and you're walking, and the first thing you're saying, he told me to carry my mattress. It just shows God is no respecter of person. He heals all of us. He heals anyone who comes to him. He's an amazing God because he could have picked a better candidate to heal, but he picked this man who, I'm thinking, if you read the whole story, that's the reason we read the whole passage, because at the end of it, he actually gets Jesus into trouble. All Jesus did was give him a miracle. He waited for 38 years. And so he tells his people, some man told me to carry my mattress. And they say, who? So we go arrest him. He says, I don't know. And he's walking around still carrying his mattress around in the temple. And Jesus comes up to him and says, hey, look, you're well. Make sure you don't sin anymore, lest something worse happens to you. But then you would think the man would carry the mattress and go to his home and tell them about the miracle. But no. You know what he did? He carried his mattress and looked for those Pharisees. Hey, the guy who healed me was Jesus. That's who healed me. I'm thinking, they're looking to kill Jesus for the miracle. And this man goes and tells them it's Jesus who healed me on the Sabbath. And yet Jesus heals. What an incredible God.